6ix9ine comes to LA.
New footage has exploded online, showing Trippie Redd sitting behind bars, and this ain't just some random arrest. Fans are linking it directly to the shocking murder of 6ix9ine's girlfriend, Ariella Langosta Maya Polano, who was gunned down in cold blood on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York. Just 3 weeks after the crime, clips surface of Trippie locked up, sparking an avalanche of rumors that he's the one authorities are holding responsible. And when you rewind the long messy history between him and 6ix9ine, the internet instantly starts connecting the dots. Their beef stretches all the way back to 2017. But it wasn't just about music, it was betrayal mixed with street politics. At the heart of it all was a girl named Axe. She was Trippie's ride or die when he first blew up, even inspiring tracks like Love Scars. But after the breakup, 6ix9ine swooped in, and that move shattered an unspoken street code. Respect got thrown out the window, and from that moment, the feud turned nuclear. The fallout was ugly. Trippie blasted 6ix9ine in as a pedophile and a weirdo in viral rants, while 6ix9ine clowned him back on stage, flipping his own lyrics just to humiliate him. Things spilled offline. Trippie was jumped in New York, with many pointing fingers at 6ix9ine's 9 Trey ties. And in the middle of all that chaos, Trippie dropped threats that fans are now revisiting, saying he once promised to hurt what was closest to 6ix9ine. Fast forward to 2025, Ariella's death suddenly looks like the moment those words came true. Police haven't officially named a suspect, but the timing of Trippie's arrest has fans convinced the beef has finally claimed a life. And if that's the case, it wouldn't just be another rap rivalry, it would mark one of the darkest chapters hip-hop has seen since the Biggie and Pac era.
Bet me to be good to people that wasn't good to me. Man.
The drama kicked off when rumors spread that 6ix9ine was pursuing AX at a time that raised serious eyebrows, and Trippie let the world know exactly how he felt. He went off in viral rants, branding 6ix9ine a pedophile and a weirdo, instantly dragging their beef into the spotlight with no filters. This wasn't about clout chasing, it cut deeper. In street culture, it was about loyalty, respect, and principles. Trippie 6ix9ine had crossed a line that couldn't be walked back. But 6ix9ine being 6ix9ine, he didn't just clap back, he went for humiliation. At a packed club show, he twisted the lyrics of his breakout anthem Gummo to mock Trippie, directly turning the crowd into a weapon. Fans erupted, laughing and chanting as 6ix9ine used the moment to clown his rival in front of thousands. That move made the feud bigger than just rap, it became personal, disrespectful, and dangerous. And from that point forward, their beef stopped being a war of words and started bleeding into the streets.
Bro's a weirdo, bro. He be coming to my sessions, he'll sit there and be quiet, act like a bitch, bro, and gonna say shit, bro. Like, he always in the cut, like, whispering and on some, like, little weird gay shit. Like, bro is not no savage, bro. Like, he's not really about anything, bro. And the fact that I gave this...
He shouted out Trippie's name, but twisted it into an insult, mocking him in front of a live crowd. The clip spread everywhere online, a public slap in the face that reignited their feud instantly. In hip-hop, disrespect doesn't fade, it lingers for years, creating enemies who never forget. And while the personal side of their beef was already toxic, the business side made it worse. Trippie claimed he was the one who first got 6ix9ine in the door with 1OK Projects, saying he deserved a finder's fee and even bragging that he got a cut allegedly 10% from 6ix9ine's breakout hits, like Gummo and Kick. Whether that was true or just talk, Trippie swore he had built a monster, only to watch that monster turn on him. That mix of professional jealousy and personal betrayal is dangerous anywhere. But in rapware, gang ties and street codes run deep, it can spiral out of control fast. And spiral it did. By November 2017, the drama had gone beyond online insults. 6ix9ine allegedly orchestrated a physical attack on Trippie at a New York hotel. This wasn't a random scuffle outside a club, it was a planned hit carried out with 9 Trey gangster bloods. Anthony Harv Ellison didn't just talk tough, he swung, punching Trippie Redd in the mouth. Trippie wasted no time going live on Instagram, showing off his bloody lip and accusing 6ix9ine of setting him up, firing off chilling threats that had the streets buzzing. But this was only the beginning, because things got much darker once the courts got involved. During 6ix9ine's 2019 federal trial, he testified that Trippie was tied to the 59 Brims, a rival blood set to his own 9 Trey crew. Whether that was fact or just 6ix9ine trying to protect himself, the damage was already done. That testimony pushed their feud beyond rap beef and straight into gang politics. And the 59 Brims are not to be underestimated. They're not some local wannabes, they're a nationwide set with a reputation for fraud schemes, drug trafficking, and brutal violence. From shootings to murders, they have the paperwork to prove it. In January 2025, Marvin Mook, Pippins, a confirmed 59 Brim, was sentenced to life for the murder of Sean Perkmiller, a real blood out of Brooklyn. Just 1 month later, February 2025, the hammer dropped again. 14 members of the 59 Brims and Bloodhound Brims were hit with a sweeping conspiracy indictment covering murder and at least 19 separate shootings. That's not rap cap. That's federal paperwork showing these crews are knee-deep in blood and bullets. So while the outside world thought the Trippie 6ix9ine and beef cooled off after 6ix9ine and cut a deal in 2019 snitching on 9 Trey to chop his sentence from life down to just 2 years, the streets never forgot. His testimony branded him a rat forever, making him a walking target. Even prosecutors warned at sentencing his life would never be the same. But that danger didn't just hang over 6ix9ine, it bled onto everyone in his orbit. And that's where Ariella Lancostemea Polano, better known as Ella, got pulled into the crossfire. On a cold New York morning, around 8 a.m., Ella was discovered slumped inside her black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, parked on the eastbound side of the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon. Police wasted no time, they ruled it a targeted hit, almost instantly, calling it an orchestrated homicide, a label they don't throw around lightly. That means this wasn't random street chaos, it was execution-level precision. And Ella wasn't just some nameless face tied to 6ix9ine. At 33 years old, this Dominican beauty had her own hustle, building a brand as a bartender, dancer, and nightlife model. Her Instagram was booming, pulling in more than 566,000 followers. But her final hours paint the real heartbreak. After a long shift at Icon Lounge in Manhattan, where she was loved by regulars as the go-to hostess, she clocked out, got into her car, and drove off into what would become her final ride. Hours later, the world woke up to headlines of her death, and whispers that the sins of 6ix9ine's past had finally caught up not to him, but to someone he cared about. She was grinding every night, hustling to provide for her 2 children and maintain the lifestyle she had carved out. But that late-night drive home turned into a scene of horror. Her black Mercedes told the story in bullet holes and shattered glass. The Westchester medical examiner, confirming the cold truth, was hit with multiple gunshots. No warning, no intimidation, just execution. Whoever pulled the trigger wanted her gone, and they made sure of it. The tragedy cut even deeper because Ella wasn't just some bystander. She had appeared in 6ix9ine's 2023 Wah music video, performed with him at New York venues like the Tobo Room, and stood in his circle when the cameras were rolling. While tabloids were quick to label her his girlfriend, major outlets like TMZ and USA Today clarified she was more like family and associate, a close confidant. That connection only made her death feel more like a message. The world saw how much she meant to 6ix9ine and when he broke character on August 18, 2025, just 6 days before his own arrest. Gone was the trolling, the bravado, the shock tactics. Instead, he posted raw tributes across Instagram, calling her the Queen of New York and my sister. In one story, he wrote, "You supported me in everything. NY won't ever be the same. I loved you," even sharing videos of them together with their favorite track, Aventura's Obsession, playing in the background. In Spanish, he wrote, "I loved you and I will love you forever." For once, his grief was louder than his antics. But that's what made it all more chilling. Just 6 days later, on August 23, 2025, 6ix9ine himself was arrested for violating Supervised Release Act with probation violations from unauthorized Vegas trips to failed drug tests. On paper, it had nothing to do with Ella's murder, but the timing was too close, and the streets couldn't help but connect dots. Whether true or not, the narrative was set. 6ix9ine's past decisions didn't just put him in danger. They painted a target on everyone around him.
No, you don't understand. I don't care if you're Drake. So right now you should be arrested. I don't care who you have next to you. I don't care who you are. You have no license. The reason that I stopped you is because of your tinted windows. You both know what you were doing in there.
6ix9ine's testimony didn't just sent people to prison. Major names like Anthony, Harv, Ellison, and Aljamia Nukmak were convicted because of what he said in court. So, when Ariella was killed, online speculation exploded. Comment sections filled up instantly with warnings like, "That's why you don't date walking targets," while others wrote, "Being close to him is crazy." Some even pushed darker rumors, suggesting Ella herself might have been seen as disloyal or even snitching, and that's why she was executed. The narrative was messy, but one message stayed the same: being tied to 6ix9ine was like carrying a death sentence in the streets. But outside the streets, Ariella's memory was painted in a very different light. Icon New York, the lounge where she worked countless nights, posted a heartfelt tribute calling her their shining star. Their message read, "Darla, our hearts are broken. Your joy, humility, and the way you treated everyone with care always made you stand out. Thank you for giving so much love to our home, which also became yours." Starlets of New York also shared their grief. The entire Starlets family is deeply saddened by the loss of Wargoa. She was a one-of-a-kind soul, a beautiful friend, loving mother, and daughter whose smile and energy lit up every room she entered. These tributes showed the other side of Ella. She wasn't just someone orbiting 6ix9ine. Fame, she had her own reputation, her own grind, and a community that truly loved her. Still, whispers from the streets hinted at something darker beneath the surface.
I had niggas waiting for me at my hotel. Some 9 trade. As soon as I walk in the building, hit right in my mouth. Got hit in my mouth. Then my niggas beat his asses and then they ran. I chased myself most of it. I ran down myself. Me, myself, and I. Them niggas hoes for real though. All them y'all niggas.
They don't know. It's my battle. My battle. You know.
But yeah, 6ix9ine done. 6ix9ine cannot come to LA.
6ix9ine stands for a sexual position because he sucks rainbow haired fat. Takashi, I hope you bro. And
I just got back from a video shoot. He did.
6ix9ine got STDs. Fat.
You want to preach all this positive.
Reports surfaced that Ella was romantically linked to a man named Atata Cartier, described as a suspected gang leader. Shockingly, Cartier was taken into custody for questioning right after her death, and that instantly shifted the narrative. Could her murder have been tied to Cartier's alleged gang business rather than 6ix9ine's past? Authorities haven't released updates on his status, but the fact his name is even in the mix poured gasoline on an already burning mystery. At the same time, tributes for Ella flooded in from across the hip-hop world. Cardi B shared a short but powerful post on her Instagram story, RIP Dominican Pretty, a nod to Ella's Dominican roots and her influence in New York's nightlife. Latin artist Larry Over also honored her, highlighting the way she touched the Dominican community and the Latin music scene. That's what makes the tragedy so heartbreaking. Ella wasn't chasing chaos. She was hustling for her kids, carving out her own path, and earning genuine respect. Her last Instagram post, dated June 7, 2025, carried a haunting caption, "Happy and blessed." The photo showed her smiling during a night out, with no clue about the storm ahead. Behind that image was a hardworking mother balancing multiple jobs in New York's cutthroat nightlife while building her brand and supporting her children. Just months later, her life was stolen. The case has since gone national, with local, state, and even federal agencies involved. But as of August 24, 2025, no arrests have been made, and no suspects officially named. The silence from investigators is telling either the case is too tangled to unravel quickly, or authorities are deliberately holding back to avoid blowing their cover. Still, one thing is hard to ignore. 6ix9ine's past has turned his world into a danger zone, and anyone tied to him automatically inherits that risk. 6ix9ine's face is practically a billboard for chaos, with 69 tattooed across his forehead. Witness protection is a joke, and because he refuses to fully cut ties with his old lifestyle, he makes himself and everyone around him sitting targets. That's where the contrast with Trippie Redd comes in. On one side, you've got 6ix9ine and a rapper who dove headfirst into gang wars, testified in federal court, and left behind a bloody trail that touched nearly everyone in his circle. On the other, Trippie, a rapper whose music persona screams violence but whose real-life record looks closer to reckless hustles than cartel-level crimes. Trippie's biggest legal issues: traffic violations, nightclub scuffles, and one assault case that never stuck. Nothing even close to the racketeering charges, conspiracy counts, and violent gang ties that define 6ix9ine's career. One man's world is filled with shootings and federal trials, while the other mostly deals with petty charges and online beef. To really see the pattern, run it back. In 2017, Trippie was rumored to be in a fight in Atlanta, but no charges followed. Typical young rapper noise. His first real legal hit came in May 2018, when he was arrested in Atlanta for aggravated assault after a woman claimed he pistol whipped her. The case fizzled. Trippie posted bond, and it quietly closed. A month later, he was arrested again, this time in New York after a nightclub brawl, written off as disorderly conduct. Add a later arrest for driving without a license, and his record reads like poor decision-making, not gangland activity. The flip came in November 2017, when Trippie wasn't the aggressor but the victim jumped in a New York hotel by 6ix9ine's 9 Trey crew, with Anthony Harvellison punching him in the mouth on 6ix9ine's orders. Trippie went live with a busted lip, calling out 6ix9ine. That moment showed the roles reversed. Trippie caught in the crossfire, while 6ix9ine was the one orchestrating violence. By November 2018, the script flipped again, but this time, 6ix9ine was in cuffs, in by NYPD, ICE, and Homeland Security in a sweeping federal case. Then the feds moved in. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives officially set their sights on the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. This wasn't neighborhood drama anymore, this was RICO, the government's nuclear option against organized crime. The indictment listed 6 major counts against 6ix9ine: racketeering, conspiracy, firearms charges, conspiracy to commit murder, violent crime in aid of racketeering, and assault with a dangerous weapon. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Borman didn't mince words. 9 Trey, with a platinum-selling rapper in its ranks, had wreaked havoc on New York City, and the receipts were brutal. March 2018, 6ix9ine, and allegedly helped attempt a hit on a rival just to boost his standing in the gang. April, he was linked to an armed robbery in Times Square. By June, he'd allegedly paid $20,000 for shots to be fired at Chief Keef outside Manhattan's W Hotel, and in July, his crew shot the wrong man in Brooklyn, an innocent bystander caught in gang politics. That's the difference between Trippie Redd's record of nightclub fights and traffic violations, and 6ix9ine in literally bankrolling murder plots. The twist came in court. In 2019, 6ix9ine flipped on his own crew and even dragged Trippie into the mess. Under oath, he testified that Trippie was affiliated with the 59 Brims, a notorious rival set to 9 Trey, that claim added gasoline to their feud, making it about more than music. The 59 Brims aren't lightweight either. Feds have them tied to fraud, drug trafficking, shootings, even murder. As recently as early 2025, confirmed members like Marvin Muck Pippins were sentenced to life for murder, while 14 others were indicted for 19 shootings. But here's the catch. Outside of 6ix9ine's testimony, there's no independent proof Trippie was ever officially tied in. His only response was cryptic, an Instagram post sidestepping the accusation without confirming or denying it. The truth is, Trippie's earliest roots trace back to Canton, Ohio, running with a local 1400-block crew more than any national gang. Music became his escape after his older brother, rapper Trippie Redd, died in a 2014 car crash. That tragedy shifted his energy toward rap, while 6ix9ine's choices pulled him deeper into the streets.